Welcome to the first episode of Analog Review, where history meets film and legends come to life. Today's film review will be Unforgiven, 1992. When you think about a Western movie, what usually comes to mind? Cowboys riding into the sunset, gunfights, the hero walking away after defeating even the good guy. A lot of people have this idea that Western are just old movies about cowboys doing cowboy things. But then you watch Unforgiven, and you realize this movie isn't about the cowboys. It's about the violence and regret and whether someone can truly escape what they used to be. So today I'm going to be doing something a little different. As someone from Gen Z, I'm reviewing a movie that came out before I was even born. This is my review of Unforgiven. Going into Unforgiven, I was honestly not sure what to expect. I knew it was considered one of the greatest westerns ever made, and obviously I knew Clint Eastwood, he's probably one of the GOATs. I wasn't sure if it would hold up for someone watching it in 2026. A lot of older movies can be difficult for younger audience like myself, because the pacing is different. Movies today usually move really quick with constant action and jokes, and something happening every few minutes. But Unforgiven takes its time. It lets the scenes breathe. It allows the conversation and characters to actually matter, which somehow the slower pace makes the movie hit even harder. After watching it, I can confidently say that this is the best Western I've ever seen, second to Tombstone. It's right up there with the greatest films in this genre. The biggest reason this movie works is Clint Eastwood. He's the lead actor and the director. Eastwood plays William Money, a former outlaw and killer who is now trying to live the quiet life. He's not the typical Western hero. He isn't this unstoppable gunslinger who walks into the town and saves everyone. He's actually the opposite. At the start of his life, he was actually a villain for most of the cases. This movie spends a lot of time showing us that Money is trying to leave that life behind, though. After the death of his wife, he's older, he's struggling, and he knows the person he used to be wasn't someone he doesn't want to become again. What makes the character so interesting is that you can see the conflict inside him. There's a part of him that wants to be a better person, not only for his children, but for himself. But, on the other hand, there's also a part of him that knows exactly what he's capable of and what he needs to do. Eastwood does an incredible job showing us that without needing huge emotional speeches, a lot of the performances come from his facial expressions and the way he carries himself. This is those performances where less is more, rather than more is less. Another thing I loved about Unforgiven is that every character feels important. Nobody feels like they're just there to move the story forward. Gene Hackman's character, Little Bill, he was the sheriff, was one of my favorites. He has such an interesting character because he isn't written as the most simple villain. He believes that he's bringing order and protecting the town, but the way he goes, it shows that how power can corrupt people. He's someone who sees himself as the good guy, even when his actions tell a whole different story. Gene Hackman's performance was incredible because he made you understand the creator while also making you question him. Morgan Freeman's character, Ned Logan, was another character that I liked because he added another perspective into the whole story. He makes you look at the situation differently and reminds you that these characters aren't just legends. They're actual people dealing with consequences of their choices.
It don't seem real. I ain't gonna never breathe again, ever. How he's dead. And the other one, too. All on account of pulling a trigger.
It's a hell of a thing, killing a man. You take away all he's got, and all he's ever gonna have.
That movie quote really stood out to me, and I think that quote perfectly represents Unforgiven and what it's trying to say. This movie doesn't glorify violence. It doesn't make killing look cool. Instead, it shows the weight that comes with it. A lot of westerns before this movie created these myths about gunslingers and outlaws. They made these characters look almost larger than life. But Unforgiven tears that idea apart and shows the reality behind these legends when they get older. It asks the questions, are these people really heroes or villains? Are they actually just people that became famous because of the terrible things they did? That's what makes the story feel so different. Even though it takes place in the Old West, these themes are still relevant today. The thing I most appreciate about Unforgiven is that it doesn't try to be the biggest or loudest movie. It trusts the audience to pay attention and think about what you're watching. It's a movie about consequences of your actions, the stories that people tell themselves, and whether someone can truly change. I went into Unforgiven expecting a great Western. I came out realizing I watched something a lot deeper than that. This movie is absolutely one of the best Westerns ever made, and I understand why it's considered a classic for many. I'm giving Unforgiven a 4.5 out of 5 stars. For a movie made in 1992, it still feels incredibly powerful today, and that's what I consider a classic. Thank you so much for watching, and this has been Gen Z's review of Unforgiven.